All right, hey everybody, we're live, and it's Tyler, and with me is special guest Jania.
What's up?
We just thought we'd come here and crack open everything, and just make some quick comments on today's news. What news you might be asking? What news do you think they're asking, Jania?
I have no idea.
We have our official casting of our new Superman and Lois. That's right, for the upcoming 2025 Superman Legacy. We're almost exactly 2 years away, which is ridiculously just to say that out loud.
2 years. Seems like it's gonna happen really fast.
Because Solomon will be 10.
Don't even.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I know.
No.
Mm-hmm. And we've already started saving for merch behind Jania's heads, the legacy box where we keep our
The
change.
legacy box.
Yeah, where we keep change and dollars and any kind of money we just want to drop in because we want to be able to buy merch without being like crap. But anyways, so let's see, about a week or so ago when they said they were going to be testing it out, I'm going to try to pronounce names correctly. You know me. I will always say it the best I can. So here we go. I will try to pronounce things correctly. A few weeks ago, when they were announcing who was testing for Superman and Lois, I was familiar with some of them, but Rachel Brosnan, is that how you say? I'll default to Genia.
Brosnahan?
Yep, that'll work. I had not seen, but I knew she was on The Marvelous Miss Maisel. And I was like, okay, I'm going to watch this pilot. And I watched the pilot, and I was like, this is cool. And then Jania came in, so now we're on season 2.
And we love it.
Yeah. And I was like, definitely. Out of everyone that I had heard rumor that was testing, I was like, this is who I want. And then David Cornyn, I'm going to say Sweat? How would you pronounce that?
What is up with these names? Corin Sweat?
All right. Yeah. So when he first popped up, I know he's on a show called what?
I want to just watch it be French. It's Sweat.
Yeah, I mean, probably. I'm just gonna try to default to first names till I actually hear them pronounced.
Yeah.
But I watched Pearl because he was in that, and the show. There's a couple things on Netflix I want to check out, but he looked the part, and I remember people saying he looks like someone took Tom Welling and mixed him with Henry Cavill to make a person, and I was like, okay, all right, but he is now cast as Superman. And Rachel is Lois, and that's pretty awesome. That's something to get excited and look forward to for 2025.
Well, if you watch her in Mrs. Maisel, which was the marvelous Mrs. Maisel, I mean, she's basically Lois in that in so many ways.
It's like
a 1950s Lois Lane.
It's like so perfect casting that you're almost like, duh.
Well, she also is reminiscent, reminds you a little bit of Margot Kidder. She does. She's got like a little bit of a Margot Kidder vibe to her. Like she's kind of like this really interesting in-between actress that I feel like is perfect.
Right?
Yeah.
And, we had talked about before, like how good it would be just to have like just good, perfect looking casting. Not like, oh, we're going to do like with this kind of style or this take, to where they cast someone and you're like, okay, I guess I can see it. But this, you're like, oh, I see it.
Yeah, you see it immediately.
So that's exciting.
I don't know enough about the guy that's going to be doing Superman, so that's definitely something that we're going to have to like dive into together. And before we see him on the big screen, we need to like actually see what he's like,
For real.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I remember when Henry was announced, we went and saw Immortals.
Ah, yeah.
And I was like,
yeah,
sweet.
And for me, it was, let's go all the way back to Count of Monte Cristo.
Yeah, I don't count that. He was a child.
It was an awesome movie, though.
I mean, I even forgot.
Just give me any reason to watch that movie.
It's true. But I mean, the same thing with Stardust. I totally forgot he was in Stardust. And I love that movie.
Yeah.
But it was Immortals where I was like, oh, yes. Okay, cool. But I'm really excited. I'm interested to see who else is cast. Like, I know there's always the rumors and people who are testing or talked about, whatever. But now I'm kind of more interested in the side characters, like Jimmy Olsen and Perry White. Let's give us a Steve Lombard. Let's go all in with everything. Hey, Junia, here's a question.
Yeah.
how old or what is the age difference you think should be between Clark and Jimmy? Now, David is 30. Okay.
Okay.
So he's 30. They'll start shooting here soon. Okay. How old do you think Jimmy Olsen should be?
I would say probably about 10 years younger.
Okay. You say 10?
I'm gonna say yeah, 7 to 10. Just to give enough of a difference where it's like, I could be your big brother, I guess. Like your elder. I don't know. I feel like that is kind of like a good zone, to be
Okay.
honest with you.
Cool. I said 5 to 7. That was mine.
Yeah.
So that was my kind of sweet spot.
But I mean, like, you need it so he like looks up to him. You know what I mean? He looks up to him almost like in this like, because sometimes if it's just 5 years, 5 years isn't so far removed that you feel like you look up to that person necessarily. Do you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Like, it's almost like too close. Like we could still be buddy and friends and stuff. Like, I know for me, like there's a lot of people that are younger than me that it's hard to tell that they're younger than me, kind of a thing,
I feel you.
because we're that close together in that range. I don't know. I'm just saying. So
No, I'm good because I agree. Like, it's got to be that sweet spot where it's old enough that there's a difference enough that he looks up to him, but there still can be friends where it's not like he's a father and a son,
yeah,
but more like a brother kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
like I said, I think a 5 to 8 year. I look at some of my friends like Devin is like what
3 years?
5 years.
Oh, is he 5 years?
Yeah. So, yeah, right in there, So, I can't do math, but it's something like that. Simple math.
But then I look at you and I, and for me, that's kind of like a,
Yeah.
we're almost 7 years apart from each other. So
Yeah, she's older than me. Go figure.
Oh, whatever.
She ages beautifully.
Whatever.
But yeah, we're just excited. We just wanted to hop on because we really got into the Mrs. Maisel show. We really liked her. We were rooting for her,
Yeah.
to be Lois.
And she's gonna be excellent at it, and I just know it. She might be one of our favorites, to be honest with you.
Right.
Yeah.
I just hope it's not like they cast her and then they're like, okay, kind of like how when Jesse Eisenberg was cast as Lex, and I was like, oh, let's watch The Social Network, and you're like, that's a good vibe, and then we saw BBS, like, what happened here?
A completely different vibe.
So I hope it's nothing like that. But as always, we have faith and we have hope.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, we're just excited.
It all comes down to the writing, doesn't it?
It all comes down to the writing and the directing.
Yeah.
Because I got thinking about it. Like, after Flash, that awesome ending where the greatest Batman of all time showed up. You guys know what I'm talking about. We rewatched his masterpiece film that he was in, and I got thinking. I was watching it for the script, if that makes sense. Where I was just listening to the dialogue and thought, could you take this script and make it serious and have the acting different? And then I was like, I think so. I do. And that's where I think there's a few corny lines in there, of course, yes. But I think, it's all about how the directing, what the vision of the director is and how they want you to present the lines and deliver that's going to really make it. So we have faith. We are excited. We're moving forward. But yeah.
Woohoo.
Isn't she beautiful?
You're hilarious.
I am funny, but that's not a joke. But just remember,